My name's Antoinette from Uplearn Academy, and today I'm going to be making a slideshow that I will use to make the unit standard class with. So the general idea is I want to introduce someone who knows nothing or very little about a unit standard and how it's set up, and be able to show them how it works, what are the different pieces, how's it fit together. So what I've done over here, I've just copied and pasted all the different aspects of the unit standard into the PowerPoint at least, and I'm going to be working with this as a base. The first thing I want to do though is I'm going to just paste let's see if I do the entire thing. So let's go, we're working with this unit standard right now. This is the unit standard that I'm basically doing everything with just for the time being. So I'm going to be able to see what I'm speaking about in each instance. So I want to do that like that specifically because that way from the get-go you'll have an idea of what you're looking at when you're looking at a unit standard. Let's go like that. Just add, all I do is I press enter when I want to add another one. So select the slide in this sort of summary section here on the left hand, and then I just press enter and then it creates another one. Instead of going and inserting, oh here's a new slide button, I can just say new slide. But I guess we all, wrong page, we all have our specific habits. So let's go here, and then I just want to cut these guys, make them smaller. I'm going to do this as fast as possible. It's probably going to be a long video, but I really don't mind in this kind of situation because it helps if you're interested in looking at the entire process. This helps to just make it more accessible. I guess. I might be wrong. Let's crop this one quite small as well. All the way down there. And all the way down there. That. Just shove it more or less in the middle. It makes a little line. This obviously depends on the program that you're using. But if you're South African like me, it's quite likely that you're working on a Microsoft computer and you probably have PowerPoint. The good thing is in general these programs are fairly similar. Essentially what I'll do is over here I'll introduce the different sections of the unit standard, so each little piece. So what I would want to do is I want to actually highlight them. So I'm going to insert a shape. Let's go for a basic standard square, and I'm going to do this. Let's go like that. Then I'm going to empty it, and I'm going to make the lines increase the weight substantially so that you can actually see the square that I'm referring to, and that should do it. Now it's generally blue here. There's some red because of the system arguing about the language. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it a color that pops out. So let's see, red is usually a good idea. Yellow, be careful of yellow when you're doing slideshows and stuff, because it doesn't matter how you approach it, it's fairly harsh. So you wanna keep it like a visible color, make it as visible as possible. I'm liking green for this. I don't want to use blue because there's blue here and you might not realize that I'm busy. Yeah, I think I'm going to go for green. How are these greens? No, let's go for this one over here, and then I'm just going to make it slightly larger and let it lean over so that you see there's a strange block. So all I'm going to do here is from here on forward I'm going to just Control-C, Control-V for Control Copy and Control Paste, or at least copy and paste, but for now I'm just going to say copy, and then I'm going to just go and say paste so that you can see what happens. So there we go. There, and then just go to the next one. That's this one over here, and then copy and paste, go to the next one. That's this one over here. Now before I go further, I actually want to try something for the animation. So animation is something, if you're using it right, excuse me, if you're using it right, animation is fantastic in a slideshow, but there's a couple of things. The first thing is using the wrong animation for the effect that you're trying to go for. The second thing is using too much animations or using them wrong so that it kind of gets lost. So what one wants to do essentially is you want to use the animation to highlight your points. Don't use it to embellish your slideshow, if that makes sense. So what I want to do is I'm going to go to the animations here, and I want to see about, okay, let's say we want that one to appear. Now it's going to immediately say number 1 on this side. So what I want to do is I'm going to, over here it says animation pane. If I click on it, it pops up on the side here, which is really nice, because if I go to this one and I say appear, then it's automatically going to be number 2 and I can refer back to it over here. You can also do a lot of the specific editing on this side. So then I want to see if it's possible after it's come in, if I can hide after animation. Okay, let's see what happens. So if I go boom, so it appears. Okay, let's do this. Let's put this one on hide after animation as well, so that we can see. Ooh, hide. Ooh, I think this is what we want. I definitely think this is what we want. So if I go like this, and I go to effect options and I change this one to hide effect on next mouse click, and then I'm going to just very quickly have a look at what happens. So here's where it is. Then I click. When I click, the next one goes, and that is absolutely perfect. I'm just going to press escape so I can go back here. Then I want this one to do basically the same. So I want each one to do exactly that, so that when I'm clicking on it, it's showing only what I wanted to show, or at least what I'm speaking about at that moment. So I'm going to do literally the same thing. I just want it to appear, no fancy stuff. And then I'm going to say hide after mouse click, and then very quickly just do the rest of them. So there I'm going to speak about that block. Over here I want to speak about the section that says this unit standard replaces, and then I want to speak about the unit standard, the purpose of the unit standard at least. So this one I'm going to make wide, and then I'm going to stick it, because here it's at the bottom here, and then it carries on at the top. So I just want to make sure that when I'm doing it, you can see that. So this one's number 3, this one's number 4. So number 4, we're going to appear. So it's automatically adding, as I go, it's automatically doing that. So what I want to do is I want to actually see if I can merge number 6. No, come on, don't do that. Number 6. I'm pressing Control and then I'm clicking on number 5. And then I'm right clicking and I'm going to see if I can group them. And then, did they group now? So if I click on this one and I say appear, I just want to do this real quick. And there we go, that's perfect. So
one eternity later.
Let's check what it does. So nice. Okay, that's perfect. It does exactly what it's required to do. No problem. Go to the next page. Do the those two aren't grouped, and those two are confused. So over here, this 4 should be 3 first of all, and then 1 and 2 are supposed to be grouped, but it doesn't look like they're grouped. Group, and then appear. Oh shit. Excuse my language. It really confuses me when it does that. Okay, let's just go appear. Move it up, because it's supposed to be 1, and then just fix this. check what it looks like. Nice, yes, perfect. And go to the next one. Yes, 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 and excellent. So first section done, animation done. Like I said, don't use animation to embellish your slideshow. All you're going to be doing is spending a lot of time on something that is most of the time just and only annoying. Right, so that's me very, very quickly running through the unit standard. Now I want to go and speak about the specific aspects of the unit standard. So here I'm just showing you on an image base what is it that you're looking at when you're looking at one of these documents. Then I want to have a look at this. I want to actually add one of learners, manage their learning. Right, now one of the reasons why I chose this background. So I like having a black background with really bright colors. The problem is sometimes the white on black, you lose the writing in the color. Whereas over here, you can still very clearly see the writing. The other reason why I chose this color is because if you, I'm just going to literally just paste one of those green ones. Doesn't matter what color you use against it, it's going to stand out. The color just lends itself to, so you can go any of the colors and all of the colors are going to stand out. You can even do like a really faded weird color, do something that's insanely similar, and it's always going to stand out against this gray background. I just want to delete this because it's just going to make confusion. So here essentially I don't think I want to do animation per se, but I do want to bring a little bit of color into it so that you don't you don't suddenly get bored after having, you know, color and animations in the previous one. Now you go to the next one and boom, there's nothing. The first thing I want to do here is I'm going to increase the size. Now usually you just go there and then you just increase the size, or increase the size here. I press Control Shift and then the arrow. I'm going to type the arrow so that you see. Let's oh sweet mercy. I'm just going to go like that, and then so basically I press, no man, go down. What are you doing? I press Control, what is it? CTRL. I press plus Shift plus this. So that one for bigger, or this one for smaller. You press them all at the same time. So obviously I'll go remove this when I'm doing the let's make it maroon and make it bold, and then so just because I like time savers, so like here for example I'm not going to try and select everything. I'm just going to click on it, take Control Alt, go Control Shift and the increase sign until I'm happy with the size of the lettering over there. Do this. Give it a bit more space to work within. And then this one I want to drag a tiny bit down, and I want to do the same over here. Just with those ones, so it's complaining because I'm not giving it space to grow in. But there we go, that works, yeah? So you've got assist and support learners to manage their experience. I've got the unit standard number, the level and the credits, which I will speak about in pieces. Then the next one is the purpose of the unit standard. And then in this case, I'm going to, again, sort of skim over the top, but speak about the specific type of language that they use in the unit standard and what they expect of you and any of those kind of things. So over here, what I want to do is I'm going to make this lettering specific animated. So I'm going to make it appear, and then I'm going to do this again. Effect options, and I'm going to say often, no, I want it to stick around, appear. Oh, okay, so this one needs to have a point of its own, and then I'm just going to push it down and maybe make this one bold, and for the sake of sakiness I'm going to give it a star over there and a star over here, because this section is actually fairly important. I wonder if I should just make this a color that you can realize that this is important to take note of. So that works. The red is not too harsh. Yeah, it's fine. It's not too harsh, but you can still see, okay, this is red. This is important. So that should go like this, and that's excellent. Escape, go back here, scroll down. Okay, now, one of the things that I want to point out here is usually when you're doing a class, you're going to literally just speak about like single or double word bullet points. You don't want a full sentence because you want the people to be paying attention to what's coming out of your mouth, right? So sometimes this is another reason why too many animations is a problem, because it's very distracting. So in this case, I'm leaving the entire thing because the information inside is pertinent to the class itself. But if I make slideshows in the future, it's going to be much less information at any given point in time. Like over here, for example, I would then just say specific outcome 1, speak about the name, assessment criteria 1, speak about the assessment criteria, instead of writing down all of the specific information. What I could do is I can just maybe specific outcome 1 and say source and maintain information. And assessment criteria 1, I can say review learner needs, and then leave all the actual other details in another document if they really wanted to read it, or to just speak about it so that they can listen about what you're speaking. I want to point out again, here's something that you need to remember. This is super important. You have to remember that you have different types of learners. I can't stress this enough. I myself, I'm an auditory learner. I love reading, yes. Storybooks. Give me a storybook and I will read it. Do not give me important information and expect me to sit and read it. And basic things like this is very important. The reason why I'm pointing this out is sometimes when you are busy with setting up the courses, you need to remember that your different learners are going to be consuming and retaining. I mean, this is the important part. How do they retain information? Do they retain information if they're reading it? Do they retain information if it's really colorful? Do they retain information if they are physically doing something that helps them to process the information? How do they retain the info you give them? And going through and paying attention to those kinds of things, it makes a big difference, which means quite often you're going to have to provide the same information to your students 3 or 4, maybe even 5 different times, using different formats and different approaches, just to make sure that all of your learners have equal opportunity to actually consume and retain the information that you've given them. Right, so I've gone through sort of like the basic aspects of this. I'm not going to sit and make you watch me do the entire thing, because from here on forward it's literally just more and more and more of the same. Maybe it's encouragement to get you to watch the entire thing, or both things, should I say rather. Right, so thank you for watching as usual, and I'll see you soon.